where every freedom is betrayed and every goodness taxed or grieved. But what we are born for we must bear. Our frail condition it is such, that what to all may happen here, if 't chance to me, I must not grudge. Else I my state should much mistake, to harbour a divided thought from all my kind, that for my sake there should a miracle be wrought. No, I do know that I was born to age, misfortune, sickness, grief, but I will bear these with that scorn as shall not need thy false relief. Nor for my peace will I go far, as wanderers do that still do roam, but make my strengths such as they are.
Good morning, everyone. Hope you're all having a wonderful day today. Today, we're going to be talking about my personal favorite sling on the market and probably one of the best high-value slings you can get. But before we do that, if you would like to help out the channel in any way, you can, of course, like, share, and subscribe because all that sort of stuff is free. On top of that, there's also my Subscribe Star, which is basically just a pro to a Patreon, and then there's also, of course, my AR500 steel targets. I still have a lot of those in stock, though they are selling very quickly, and we hope to get more resupplies on hangers and everything else pretty soon. So today we are talking about the Grovtec Sentinel. Here I have a couple. I have one in that gun in kind of a grayish color, and then I have this one here, which is in real multicam, which just launched, I believe, not too long ago. Now, I have kind of an interesting story with Grovtec, as I actually was introduced to their company a year and a half, 2 years ago almost, when I was working for a material supply company, and I actually reached out to Grovtec to supply them material for my old company. Now, I don't really work for that company anymore. I haven't worked for them for about a year or so. And then recently, a advertising company, Chevalier Advertising, down in Lake Oswego, Oregon, which is just south of me, reached out and wanted me to check out some of their products for review and that sort of things. So that being said, I've actually had a tour of the Grovtec facility when I was working for that other company, and so I've been on their actual production floor. I've seen their assembly. I've sold them material, steel bar and that sort of thing for their actual products, because they are one of the largest manufacturers of the QD links and stuff like that. They make a lot of their own products, and on top of that, they supply a lot of links to a lot of different companies. So they make a huge amount of their own stuff, and they are, again, local to me, and I've seen their entire stuff. So this sling was sent out to me by Grovtec. It was actually dropped off by their product engineer, Alan, who we'll get to hear from later in the video. So this one here was free, and this one here, this gray one here on this rifle right here, was actually purchased with my own money. I actually bought that one for about $45 from a local FFL. So now let's go ahead and go over some of the basics and basically what you get right out of the box. So for the sling, the MSRP on the sling is $59.99, so right at $60. However, you can find it for, generally speaking, under that. I believe they sell them at like Midway USA, Big Daddy Unlimited. You can also find them in your local stores, hopefully, depending if they carry them or not, for anywhere between, I've heard, as low as $35 and around $45, $50 on the higher end. So again, MSRP is $60 from Grovtec. But for the money, I think that that is an exceptional value, especially considering that it does come with high quality in-spec US made QD links. Now, these links, a high quality set is like $5 to $10 per, so even if you're buying another sling that's like around the same price point or even a little bit less, like the Magpul MSI, which I bought for about $35, but again, it does not come with any of your QD equipment. Now, the design on here is more of a tailless design, though they're going to have a couple different versions of it. So like right here, this is a solid link right here, so there's no excess material. It is triple sewn on both sides so that there's no extra material, there's no tail on it whatsoever. You have your nice quick adjustment right here, so you can adjust quite a bit, and you can even adjust your adjustment if you really wanted to using this slider right here. Now this little slider can be pushed all the way underneath the elastic on the back here, but we'll get to that in a second. And that basically just gives you some extra adjustment if you need to make your sling a little bit longer or shorter, depending on, again, your personal size and use case scenario. Now, moving back from there, we have one of my favorite features of the sling, and that is this very nicely padded, about 2-inch wide section here in the back that basically rests perfectly on your shoulder, as we'll demo a little bit later on. But On the back here, you also have, of course, your two nylon pieces that are shoved through the webbing. However, the nice thing about this is that this is not a floating piece. This is actually stitched onto the back here. So this is very solid and does not move from its position. As you can see also on the front here, we have a very nice taper on the front end. So if you're wearing gear like plate carrier groups or something else and you have a lot of stuff, if you're moving this back and forward, doing your up drills, low ready, whatever, it's not going to snag or get caught on something because of course you have that rounded face and that very kind of aggressive taper on there. So again, it's not going to get stuck or snag on anything. Now moving back from there, we have what is, in my opinion, the weak point of the sling, and that is this plastic buckle. Now the plastic buckle could theoretically be removed and you could switch it out for some sort of metal link, and so you could retain the same thing. But basically what this does is this allows you to dump the rifle basically instantly. If for whatever reason your rifle became tangled and you needed to get away from it or something like that, you could basically dump it immediately. Now some people like that, some people don't like that. Because you do have two QD loops or QD attachment points on either side that basically do the same thing, it is somewhat redundant. So in future models they are going to be removing that, or at least on some of them I believe. So that is one thing that I think they could change about it. And again, it is a plastic buckle on an otherwise extremely high quality sling, and again, it doesn't really add all that much benefit. It could theoretically also get in the way if it got bound up behind your stock somehow, but again, it is completely adjustable here in the back end as well, so you can make it work for you. Put it off and then put in your own metal loop or something in there that's a little bit more durable. So moving back from there, again, we can adjust the rear end here to make it longer or shorter so that the pad can be in the correct position for your shoulder, because basically the pad is about 18 inches long or so, or 12-15 inches long, and it should just be sitting right here on your shoulder, displacing all of that weight, making it very, very comfy to hold for long periods of time, which of course it is. I've had these, I had that sling for several months now, maybe 3 or 4 months, and I've been using it basically multiple times every week, including dry fire, all that sort of stuff. Long range days, 2-3 hour days, that sort of thing on heavy rifles with no issues whatsoever. I've ran it on everything from super short like 22 build to a 20-inch AR-10, and it has been perfectly fine. No issues whatsoever, very, very comfy, and will basically work in a large variety of weapons, though it is designed mostly for AR style mid-sized guns, so anything from like a 10.5 to a 20-inch, bullpups, AKs, anything that's not a micro gun, this will fit basically perfectly. Now that's really enough of the basic boring details. Let's go ahead and hop over to the range with one of their product engineers so that we can talk about it and do a little bit of demoing. Alrighty guys, so now we're out here with Alan. Alan is a product engineer for Grovtec. Alan, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about what you do.
I'm Alan, product engineer for Grovtec USA. We manufacture products for firearms. So this is my firearm. This is an ADM rifle. I have the Sentinel Sling set up on this one in MultiCam, new for 2021. Right now, shameless plug, I've got the Grovtec flange M-lock push button mount right here. This one's the full rotation one. We do make them in non-rotating as well. I run mine further back so it doesn't get in the way with all my other accessories up front. And on this allows me to transition a lot easier. Quick pull tab so I can swim out of it, go to my weak side, back to my strong side without it choking me out or anything like that. And then when I'm back, just pull it and I'm tight again.
So we're both running our rifles basically the same. This is much more of a budget blaster, but I'm actually also using the Grovtec Sentinel Sling, of course, on a Grovtec Picatinny adapter. This is actually one of your guys' Picatinny adapters. This is also full rotation. So let's go ahead and talk about the sling, some of the materials, kind of design choices, and what it's really used best for. So we're using some sort of Cordura nylon.
Not quite scuba webbing, but because when you get into scuba webbing, it's a lot thicker and heavier, and that's not something that we were going for. We used a lighter one, and this is the MultiCam brand, so it's not the any of the fake stuff. It does have
it's real MultiCam.
Yeah, it's real MultiCam.
Yeah.
It's not going to have like a blasting IR signature under night vision. So this has a low signature. It actually looks like camouflage under there and not a bright light when you look at it under night vision. One of the things we get a lot of people talking about is this tri-glide here for adjusting. So when you get it, it comes pretty low. for packaging reasons, but you can actually move this all the way through. For example, on mine, if you don't mind holding that, swim out of mine real quick. Mine's actually adjusted all the way right here, and I actually like to put it underneath the stretchy elastic right there to kind of cover it up, make it look a lot cleaner and nicer.
Let's talk about this padding thing, because I think the padding is one of the things that separates it from a lot of other slings on the market. You either get a lot of slings that basically are just slick, nothing on them whatsoever, or they have kind of a obnoxiously large pad that can move around, but this is solid. This does not move from where it is.
It doesn't really move, but it doesn't have any gripping on the back, so but most of it is just from its tension on you. The reason why we left it slick on the back is so that you can manipulate it, move your rifle around without it like rubbing on your gear and catching. We went with a slim design and using the 1-inch webbing for that. When it comes to the actual contouring right here, we contoured it so that when you're running your gear and moving it back and forth, it has less likely chance of it.
Right. So you have an actual angle there, so you're not hitting any like hard right edges on there moving gear. Because I've ran this a lot with like plate carriers and other stuff on, and it's just as easy to run and gun with. It's not catching up or hindering me in any way. So the sling is not slowing me down, which is what a sling should do. Basically holds your rifle to you and maybe add some comfort and some other things like that.
They do come with push buttons. We are one of the largest US manufacturers for push buttons, so we can throw those in there and keep the price low for you guys.
Talking about price, the MSRP is $60?
$59.99.
Right on there, but I actually purchased this one here I purchased with my own money from a local store, and I got it for $45 from a local store, and I've heard rumors that they're on Big Daddy Unlimited for $36. So you can find them for an extremely reasonable price. At anywhere underneath $60 and even at $60, they're basically some of the most high value slings on the market. And this does come with both. They're both very high quality. They're actually in spec. They're more of a parkerized finish on them than like a nitride.
That one is going to be a it's a manganese phosphate.
Manganese phosphate. Okay, phosphate finish. Gotcha.
But we do sell them in the manganese phosphate, black nitrite, and as well as Cerakote.
Alrighty, so talking about use case scenario and setup for these guys, these are designed for AR sized, AR style rifles, you know, whether that's AKs, ARs, bullpups, anything like that. They're designed for more mid to full size guns. That's kind of their intended use case scenario.
Yeah.
Because like, honestly, I probably wouldn't run this on like a super small, like PCC, like, you know, MP5, B&T, something really small, really compact, but I don't think that's its intended use case scenarios. These are definitely more like rifle sling.
Yeah, I wouldn't run them on like a saw.
Or that, yeah.
Yeah, and I have a M14 EBR at the house, and I've thrown this on there just for fun.
Well, because it is comfort, so it does support the weight really well. So I mean, it's better than just like some super cheapo sling without any padding on it. So it does do a good job of putting that weight over your shoulder. So if you're carrying it for long periods of time or walking, anything like that, it's really nice to have something. All right, so now we're just going to be doing a little bit of demoing for you guys. We have some targets at about 20-25 yards away. We'll just do some demoing, some up drill, some stuff like that. Maybe show you guys a pistol transition just to show you guys that it works and works pretty well. And then if I was gonna fire like that, bring the rifle back up. Obviously no malfunctions here, but just showing you easy transition. It gets out of the way real nice and easy. You can just grab your gun, rotate it, and it's back up in front of you. Alrighty, so now I'm just gonna do some up drills with probably the nicest rifle that I've ever held. We're running all Trijicon glass on here, ADM upper and lower. Really nice. What do we have on the front? It's a Griffin Armament suppressor. Okay, sick. So we're just gonna run some up drills, just kind of running the sling just like I would normally run it on my guns, but of course this is just a lot nicer. So. We're even high ready position. Trigger's super nice too. Nice.
Go ahead and do the 45 too.
All right, we'll try that one out. That was basically right on. Oop, I dropped one low. That's sweet, man. I really like this. That's pretty sweet. So that's the difference. Like, you know, I kind of do like a lot of budget stuff, obviously, but nice stuff is still very nice. I pulled one off his body. Oof. All right. It's so nice. Alrighty guys, so that is basically it for the video. Thanks again to Alan for coming out, helping me demo, and of course letting me shoot his extremely nice $3,000 or $4,000 rifle setup. Very, very nice, and very nice of him to come out. So, now, of course, I don't make any money from this. They have not paid me whatsoever. They did send me some free stuff, some free swag, that sort of thing. But otherwise, I just think it is one of the best slings on the market, which is why it's my main sling that I run on basically all of my guns. Anytime I'm filming with a gun, basically I throw one of the slings that I have on it, and that's pretty much what I do. I do, of course, also own some super budget slings, some super cheap slings. The Magpul MSI sling that I own, I basically stopped using it after about a month or two because it's really heavy, it's less adjustable, and there's just so much extra material there that I don't personally need. Not that it's not a strong sling, but as you guys will have seen from the intro, I did quite a few pull-ups off of these, even with the plastic buckle on, and they did just fine. So that's about it for the video, guys. Hope you guys all enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching, and of course, let me know what you guys think of these slings, or if there's something else that I should be checking out in the future. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace off.